want to go back and talk a little bit about where we were kind of going with you of what you've grown with Kart Class and what your coaching career has kind of morphed over the last couple of years and what you've learned. Because people tell me all the from the snapshots of when I get to see them of the cool things we've done and how we've gone in a different way. But I mean, you've done a lot of exciting things that I think hadn't been done before, maybe to the certain degree, or at least from a sustainable point of view, from taking an online coaching brand, then doing classes and camps completely on the other side of the world, right? And make it and pulling that off, man. I mean, that is super, super
Yeah.
cool. And it's funny too. People, because KC for Kart Class, KC for Kart Chaser,
Yeah.
we've been partnered for so long. I say partner for those listening. Dave's been a supporter of Kart Chaser for many, many years. People think it's all in one family. You've done this all on your own. You've supported us at the same time. So obviously things have to be going at least okay. But man, what a cool journey you've been on with growing that.
Look, so it's just about helping more people. Like,
Yeah.
I had a lot of good people helping me when I was a kid growing up. So it was my dad and my cousin James. He's now coached Oscar Piastri from his karting journey. My cousin coached him. And we had other resources. So then when I was coaching, it was just like, how can I help more people? I can't be in Miami and I can't be in freaking the Gold Coast and all these other places. So
Yeah.
Kart Class was sort of born to help more people. And it's not hands-on. Like, it's up to, we give you the resources through videos, worksheets, and diagrams and things like that. It gives you the right resources that you can take to the track and you go there with a purpose. That's basically the reason behind Kart Class, is that we can get world-class coaching with the knowledge that's taken me to winning many races worldwide, and that you can have it in your pocket, that you can go to the track with your kid and say, you don't listen to me as a mum or dad, but you might listen to this person who you've seen online, who you've seen win the races. And then obviously, as we've gone through Kart Class of selling online programs, and the US is our biggest market. So even though I'm based in Melbourne, Australia, the US is our biggest supporter. So obviously a big thank you to the people that race in the States. But then it was like, okay, so you guys have supported my online program. How can I actually help you on the tracks that you race at now? So that's when this year, I think it was in June, it was the summer holidays, I teamed up with Danny Formel, who's a 4-time Supernats winner and an amazing stalwart in karting, to bring some of these Kart Class members to a racetrack and to have myself and him coaching these drivers with actual on-track experience, and us to have a go-kart ourselves and to be on the track and to give them racecraft skills and race starts, and not just the fast lap, because it's not necessarily the fastest driver that wins all the races. It's how you can get around other karts and defend and things like that. So yeah, bringing Kart Class, obviously the coaching to the USA was it's a big effort, because like I said, I've got a track literally 4 minutes from my front door, and I'm traveling 30 hours to Miami to run a camp. So logistically, it's not that easy, but we partner up with the local race teams in Miami. We did some in Baltimore. Next year, we'll be going to Tennessee, went to Charlotte this year. So we're going to be doing more tracks next year. We'll go to Vegas. We'll get to K1 in 2025. So it's really exciting, because we've got a big network of people in California that this year I just couldn't get to, just with the timing of Spring Valley opening up and K1 opening up. I couldn't get there straight away. But our latest sort of exercise has been, it's basically Chat GPT, but for kart racing. And so I called it Apex. I sort of wanted to give it a name, like rather than just a chat, like Apple has Siri. I just sort of, we put it online, and Apex seemed to be a popular name. But that's all of our own resources. So the answers that you're getting when you type in on a phone, you get the answers within, sort of 8 to 10 seconds. You get an answer back. That's exactly how I've typed into the system. So people can trust that, yeah, it's coming from myself. It's coming from Danny Formel. It's coming from Aidan Levy, who's a SCUSA Pro Tour champion as well. It's coming from drivers that have won on your racetracks. And the amount of knowledge it's got, it comes down to, I've been chatting earlier to like the guys at Benick and Magic Kart. And so we've got standard setups for Benick karts and adjustments that you would make if the kart has too much grip or not enough grip. So depending on what brand of go-kart you've got, or PKT axles compared to Swift magnesium rims, you can type in when to use these things, and it's going to shoot you an answer off of our information. So I've tried to go into a lot of detail. It's got track guides for about 15 or so USA tracks that you can type in, how to take turn 3 at Orlando Kart Center, and it will give you how I've typed in how to take turn 3 at Orlando Kart Center. And so it's an ever-growing resource that I just keep literally just typing and typing and typing. And I think it's up to about, again, I don't know how characters work, but it's up to about sort of 5 million characters. So I don't know how many words it actually is, but it's not a bad little database for the last 12 months that I've been putting in. But because it's such a niche market, like I said, I'm on the ground with, that's why I go to the USA. I get to experience the tracks myself. Then I type into the system of how to take certain corners and don't hit this curb and hit this curb. And this is the sprocket to use for these tracks. And this is the tire pressure that you would use in these conditions for the Avinco tires, or, the 4-cycle. We've got Coyote carts and things like that. So it's an ever-growing resource. We're just trying to help more people, basically. And Apex was more about bringing the cost right down of coaching. So I think it's $30 a month. You can literally type in 1,000 questions a month if you wanted to, or you can type in one question and get your answers back off of speaking to Dave, Sera, or to Danny Formel personally. It's basically just trying to use our own resources to give you guys the answers to help your kart racing.
And obviously, I mean, I can hear it in your voice, right? And I've known it, how passionate you are and caring about wanting to help people and wanting to make their experience in karting better and get faster and get to watch them progress. But, through this journey of Kart Class, right? I mean, what has, you've obviously still got, the main gig, which is doing all the in-person at-track coaching and everything else of that nature that you do year over year. But, how many times with a project like this, it seems like now you're at a very exciting and fun time with it, but through the journey is rough. I think that's probably the least talked about part that I enjoy when I get to have a deep conversation with people about, like Kart Chaser, for example, like how scary some of the moments are when you're in the early days of launching something totally off the wall and new.
Yeah. Oh, for me, I've got the knowledge. Like, that's what people want, the knowledge. So they're paying me for whether it's on-track coaching or it's the Apex or it's the kart setup programs. But from a website / technical point of view, that's not my forte. And so people would buy a product and then they might have a login issue, or it hasn't synced perfectly, which is out of my hands. It's sort of it's the platform's system. So that's where I feel guilty and feel bad, because especially with the time zone as well, that someone may have purchased the product while I'm asleep from the USA, and it's my nighttime, so that I might not get back to them for like 5 or 6 hours. And so they're like, holy crap, I've given this guy, a few $100s for a program or for a track guide, and he's shafted me. And I'm like, okay, and I'm having to rebuild that connection. Like, look, I'm sorry, I've been asleep. Like, it's Australia, it's only 5:30 a.m. or whatever it is, and Shopify hasn't quite synced the email with the purchase, but it's okay. Like, we'll sort it today. So it's those little technical issues that, I don't know how to fix at an instant, that we do resolve. I've got a web team that resolves it, but obviously, and even from my point of view, if I purchase something online, I just want to make sure that I can get that product, even if it's just online, whether it's physical or it's online. And then to have those technical issues are frustrating, and they're a bit daunting for someone who doesn't know Dave Sera or doesn't know Kart Class, that have given someone some money and it doesn't come back to them. They're like, holy shit, this guy's just is a scam. But but now look, there's a face here, and it's not a scam. And like I said, it's we try and resolve things as fast as we can. But that's something that, it can be hard, trying to please everyone, because they're happy with the products, but sometimes when there's a technical fault that and the time zone difference, whether it's in Europe or it's, I said the USA, just getting back to them in real time is sometimes a little bit hard.